A little peace and blessings to all those paying attention to the prison riot videos. This is Thomas Lee Trent. I'm here with Jay Renee and my fam. Today I'm introducing a poem to the world that's inspired by me. The experience is called A House, Not a Home. So I'm glad to get into it. A house is not a home. A house is not a home. Even when it's full, I still feel as if I'm alone. This is my house, but this will never be my home. A house is not a home because a house is a home that is complete with siblings and a loving spouse that are there to lift me up when I am down and out. True love and support is all I need to turn this plain old house into a home. This is my house, but this will never be my home. A house is not a home, especially when my mother is deceased and my father is gone. I've been in this empty house a little way too long now. So I leave and I start to roam now. Now I have no house or a home. A house is not a home. So I leave and I start to roam through the streets and I'm searching and searching for someone who knows what it's like to be deserted and left in the cold. Someone who listens when my story is told. Someone who gives me peace and brings me to a comfort zone. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Streets, for buying my house and making it our home. But is the streets really a place that's safe to call home? A house is still not a home. So that's the title of the poem of mine. It's called A House is Not a Home. In life, you have those who are trained and those who are untrained, who take risks without hesitation, based on survival to overcome the odds, without thinking about the consequences and the people who get hurt along the way. Inside household environments, I feel like the responsibility of a parent is to love, teach, and protect for their child until the day that child is able to love, teach, and protect and provide for their own. And even then, some parents have the concept that they're going to be there for their child until they their death, no matter how old they get, how much they will take care of themselves. For me, a house is not a home. I looked at the movie Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin's Part 1, 2, and so forth. And that man had, well, that child rather had both parents, mother and father, and siblings there. But that wasn't enough for the parents to pay attention when leaving out on vacation that they left their child behind. And there's always something, a void that's missing inside of our household with our children that we overlook. So depending on what goes on inside our house, domestic violence, drugs, sexual abuse, exposing things in front of kids that shouldn't be exposed, they could push people outside their house into the streets where they look for love, guidance, acceptance for things that's being neglected from inside their house, which should have been their home. And we embrace people who have similarity stories and we gravitate towards them. And then, you pick up ways that are not healthy for you. You make decisions at that time that you think was the best at that time, even when it wasn't. And sometimes we stray to other people's homes and their house become our home. And next thing you know, we condone them to things that where society classified us as either gang members or robbers or murderers or drug dealers or problem child. And I was one of them kids who shift from house to house to the streets, and at a young age where I was learning how to defend for myself when I didn't have both of my parents who were steady there. And there's a lot that I wish that I would have paid more attention to, that I was a lot more headstrong to as I am now, because at that age of 8, 9, 10, and 11, I was carrying pain around on my shoulder that I couldn't bear. I was doing the best that I could to make sure that I was all right, not knowing that I really wasn't all right. And I wasn't trusting in people who I thought had my best interest in heart, when, in reality, some didn't and some did. I did have some family, some friends who tried to help and try to assist. But sometimes when you get your hands on certain people who experience, domestic violence and, drugs and in and out of foster care and, a whole bunch of things that just leave you traumatized. Sometimes it may be a little too late. And some people give up on you. And they leave you there without really understanding that you need all the help, consistency, as possible. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, because I do feel that when it comes to the system and the courts, and when you look at the Bible, I've never been someone who was very spirituality. And at one point, I didn't believe that there was a higher being. I felt that because of all that I've been through the course of my young life, when I was formed, that there was no God that they allowed for me and my siblings to go through what we went through, or the outcome of my life to be in the position that I'm in now, incarcerated. For as long as I've been here for 25 years. Because there's contradiction in between a Bible, which is King James Version, that says, hurt people, forgive. If someone wrong them back and forgive them, make peace. And then when you go to the New American Bible, which is not the First Testament, King James is the First Testament, the New American Bible and the New Testament states, if someone wrong you, turn the other cheek. So if I'm the type who say, someone wrong me, I'm going to forgive you, I'm going to do nothing, that leaves open the door for either the person who's soft and trying. And next thing you know, they created even more problems. And now when you try to go to defend yourself, you're defending yourself from everyone. And if I don't have a right to protect the honor in which I was told to protect inside our household environments, our mother said if someone hits you, hit them back. If something happened to one brother or sister, it better happen to y'all all. And you might be one of them kids who's not a fighter, you're a lover. You're someone who want to preach and teach peace. But there's always going to be a test that comes your way. And if you don't, it's like it contradicts what teachings do we live by. Because behind the course of the judge that sits on the bench that pretty much judge you on your past and your present crimes or the conditions of what they label them as. It says that in God we trust. And then when you understand, they say, raise your hand, the right hand, and put your hand on this Bible that you swear to tell the truth and the whole truth, so help the God that you worship. So if we following the laws of the Lord and the Bible, how come when we do live by it and we do defend ourselves, we're wrong? And who do you listen to? Your rules, your law, the parents' law, their rules, the Bible, or the law of the land? So to me, I was too young to understand all of that. And I did the best that I thought that I could have done for myself. When it came out for other people, it wasn't the best. So to me, charting a new path and going back into my past to the present day and making a better me and presenting a better me to not only just myself, but to my peers amongst me that's in the facility that I'm in, and to family and loved ones that's on the outside, and to now also you, Jay Renee, and the people who's in tune with the Prison Riot Radio. Like I said before, that no one is perfect. And in life, we often fail to pay attention to the fine print until after the damage is done. The fine print is education, and the experience is what you get when you don't have it. And as I said, to me, trauma comes not only just from books and inside of the classroom in school, it comes also from our experiences. I do know taking accountability for our actions is something that we have to do. Some people not past that part of life where they want to be lied to, and they would rather hear the ugly truth than be told a pretty lie. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. That's my poetry. A house is not a home. And that sometimes you can have even both parents and siblings inside the house, and there's still always that one child who need more attention than others, whether they have a mental disorder, physical disorder. And, we just got to make the best out of what we have and stick with each other and doing to others as we want done to us.